And did you want to explain your role too? Is it an extra thing that you want us to be
Pathways guys.
Good afternoon. Welcome to this early edition of Heart to Heart Toastmasters. I'm James Jeffley. Thank you for being here. This time I'd like to introduce Gary Wong. He is a distinguished Toastmaster and the Pathways Guide who's going to give a presentation on the new Toastmasters education program, Pathways. Please welcome Gary Wong.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters.
Good afternoon.
How many, by show of hands, have individual goals?
Oh, yeah.
We all do. We all have different goals for different things. For instance, we may have goals in our personal lives. Perhaps we want to exercise more by going to Planet. Perhaps we would like to lose weight, but we all have individual goals. We have goals in Toastmasters. Those are individual goals that we do with the communication track and the leadership track, such as competent communication and competent leadership. I'd like you to take a look at your handouts right now and look at what I call the report card. Every club has it. Every club has a report card. You can go down into Toastmasters.org and find this report card for any club in the world. There are 20,000 clubs with 300,000 Toastmasters in over 100 countries. Every club has a report card. Now, how many of you know what those infamous letters DCP stand for? Show of hands. 2, 3, 4 of you. DCP, Distinguished Club Program. That's what this report card measures. You notice that there's 10 goals, but they're 10 club goals, not individual goals. We're going to start out by talking about the DCP, then evolve into talking about the new revitalized education program called Pathways. Let's start out with the easiest goal, goal number 10. Goal number 10 means you have to submit the club officer list on time, no later than June 30th or December 31st if you have 2 6-month terms. Goal number 10 also means that you respect the 2 holiest days of every Toastmasters year, April 1st and October the 1st. Because those are the 2 dates that we collect our dues. The club treasurers are especially busy in the month of September, leading up to October 1st, and in the month of March, which you're in right now, leading up to April 1st. So goal number 10 is submit your club officer dues on time, submit your club dues on time, and your club officer list on time. Goal number 9 is club officer training. How many of you are club officers here? 4 of you. You need 4 out of 7 club officers to be trained. In the summer, from June 1st through August 31st, and in the winter, from December 1st through February 28th. Ideally, all 7 club officers should be trained, but we especially want our trio, our president, vice president membership, and vice president education to be trained. And you'll see why in a few minutes. So club officer training means that we need to make sure that our club officers are trained so that there is effective leadership in leading the club. Goals number 7 and 8, you all are familiar with it. But before I go into that, what's the ideal strength of any Toastmasters club?
Numbers.
What's the ideal numbers and strength?
Oh.
Number strength. 20 members. 20 members is the ideal strength. 20 members is what we need to make sure that our club is functional so we don't have to have any burnout, so that we don't have people wearing 2, 3 meeting role hats.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, in Toastmasters, there is a 40% turnover in our Toastmasters family every single year. 40% on average leave. And do you know why? Because when a Toastmaster completes this common communication manual, 40% of them say, I'm a great speaker. I don't need any more. I've completed 10 speech projects. When in fact, you just touched the tip of the iceberg. My wife says to me, Gary, all the Toastmasters I know, they complete this manual in 12 months. Why are you still working on it after 18 years? We all know we can do this over and over and over again because we know we can always get better. You see, Toastmasters is not a class. It's not a class where you complete 10 speech projects. It is a lifelong journey. We can always improve our communication skills and our leadership skills, no matter how good we may be. Tiger Woods, when asked, what do you do after you win a championship? He doesn't say, I go to Disneyland. No, he says, the next day, I'm practicing. I am always practicing to get better. Darren LaCroix, the 2001 champion of World Championship of Public Speaking, said, there are 3 ways to improve your communication skills. Practice, practice, practice. So the ideal strength of a club is 20 members. If we lose 40% every year, I know that you can figure this out. 40% times 20 is 8. Goal number 7, 40 members. Goal number 8, 4 more new members. Goals 7, 8, 9, 10. Membership, club officer dues, club officer list, and club officer training. That stays the same, even under the new revitalized education program called Pathways. But what about goals 1 through 6? Goals 1 through 4 relate to communication. Goals 5 and 6 relate to leadership. Go to your next handout, and you notice it talks about the communication track and the leadership track. Your next handout, next page. That's what our current program is all about. The communication track, which starts with the CC manual, and the leadership track, which starts with the CL manual. Now you all know about what the communication track is all about. I call them the alphabet soup. CCs, ACs, competent communication, AC, advanced communicator, either bronze, silver, or gold. With leadership track, competent leadership, CL, advanced leader bronze, advanced leader silver, no advanced leader gold. Complete both tracks, communication leadership track, you're awarded the highest award in Toastmasters. It's called the Distinguished Toastmaster, or DTM. But keep this in mind, less than 10% of all Toastmasters actually ever achieve the DTM. Bear in mind that people join Toastmasters for different reasons. Yes, it starts with public speaking, improving public speaking skills, but different people have different motivations. Some people stay in Toastmasters because they like to compete in the contest. Some people stay in Toastmasters because they have a great time socially. Many people don't go into Toastmasters so they can get letters behind their name and get the CC, AC, ACB, ACS. No. So we have to respect and understand that. Now let's talk about your next handout, which is entitled The Toastmasters Pathways Learning Experience. Pathways replaces goals number 1 through 6. All the alphabet soup like CCs, ACs, CLs, ALBs, DTMs, except for the DTM, they go away. But not right away. Not right away. You see, there is a transition period. Transition period starts with District 57. What district are we in? We're in District 57. District 57, which extends from Fremont to the Oregon border with 170 clubs, is the very first district to roll out Pathways. We are the envy of the Toastmasters world. There are over 100 districts in the world. We are the very first district to roll out Pathways. No other district, no other member in any other district can participate in Pathways unless they become a member in a District 57 club. Do you realize that there are at least 20 to 30 Toastmasters who have joined our district from outside California because they want to participate in Pathways? They joined because they had to wait. They'd have to wait 6 months, 9 months, 12 months before joining. So we are the envy of the Toastmasters world right now. We started to roll out Pathways. We started back actually on February the 7th. Every district will have Pathways rolled out no later than sometime in the middle of 2018. From that last rollout, 2 years later is when Pathways will then be a way of life for all Toastmasters. No more communication track, no more leadership track, no more CCs, CLs, ACs, but the DTM is still there. You see, when you complete the communication and leadership track, you are awarded the DTM. When you complete 2 Pathways, you are awarded the DTM. Now let's go back to the timing. I said by the middle of 2020, in other words 2 years after the last rollout of 2018, everybody will be on pathways. I am sure that Toastmasters International will probably extend it all the way to the end of that calendar year. So actually, we probably will not have everybody in the world on pathways as a requirement until 2021. So you have plenty of time to complete the communication track, the leadership track, if you're on that track right now. I know there are many people who say, wow, you're compelling us, or Toastmasters International is compelling us to adhere to a schedule. I don't know if I can finish a DTM in 4 years. But bear in mind that Toastmasters are Toastmasters, not necessarily to get the DTM. Look at the statistic. So we have to keep that in mind, and still remember that we have to respect everybody's motivation in being part of Toastmasters. Let's go over some of the pathways. There are 10 pathways. We're going to read them out loud so that you at least hear the words. Starting bottom of page 9 in your handout, the first pathway is dynamic leadership. So let's read it together. The 10 pathways are dynamic leadership, effective coaching, next page, innovative planning, leadership development, motivational strategies, persuasive influence, presentation mastery, strategic relationships, team collaboration, visionary communication. When I first read these, I thought, they're just words. I know it's English, but it's just words. What do they mean? I asked all of you, how many of you have kids? How many of you have kids? Do they do everything you tell them the very first time? Or maybe even the second time? Or maybe the 5th time, or 50th time, or 100th time? Do you think maybe presentation mastery coupled with effective, persuasive influence might be something you might be interested in? Persuasive influence and presentation mastery. Suppose you're at work. You're asked to work on the strategic plan for your company for the next 5 years. What do you envision in your vision casting as to what your plan is for the next 5 years for this company? You're on a committee. Do you think that maybe working on strategic relationships and visionary communications might be helpful to you in that situation? Or suppose you're mentoring someone, or maybe you're mentoring a club, or you're mentoring people outside. How many of you have a mentor? How many of you have ever mentored anyone?
I'm your mentor.
Effective coaching might be something you might be interested in. Now, for every Toastmaster who signs on, and every one of you being existing Toastmasters as of February the 6th, you have the option as transitional members to continue working on your communication and leadership skills, your communication leadership tracks, as well as sign on to pathways. You can do both.
Both.
You can do both.
Really?
If you were to sign on as a new member after February the 6th, you're on pathways. A new member signing on after February 6th has no option. It's just pathways. Automatically subscribe to pathways. So when you take a look at our options, you will be given, when you first sign on, an exam. Now it's really like a quiz. It's about 8 questions long. And from your answers to those 8 questions, TI will recommend 3 of the 10 pathways for you to choose.
So if we're already a Toastmaster and we want to take this quiz just to see what we're good at, how do we do that? And not go pathways and go the old system. Can we do that?
That's a choice that you have to make for yourselves,
Okay.
because you may be very close to achieving the end of your communication track
Yeah.
or completing your leadership track. You may not even be interested in achieving anything or completing anything. Depends on what your motivation is. If you are truly motivated to achieve, finish the communication track and leadership track, you really want to get your DTM, your Distinguished Toastmaster, you'll get it in 4 years. On the other hand, suppose you just started. Suppose you just joined in January, as an example, and you did your first icebreaker. You could say, well, you know what, I've done one icebreaker. I might want to just switch over the pathways and not even start on the communication track. Here's something that's very important. You cannot transfer credit from the communication and leadership track over to pathways.
You can't.
If you complete the icebreaker speech, project number 1 from the Common Communication Manual, you can't transfer that credit over to Pathways. Okay, something to keep in mind. So, the TI program, which you will sign on to in a portal or a gateway called Basecamp, which we'll discuss a little bit later. When you sign on, as transitional members, you will be given recommended 3 pathways for you to choose. Now, you don't have to choose those 3 pathways. You can choose anything you want. I would recommend innovative planning, strategic and persuasive influence, and motivational strategies. I didn't choose any one of them. Instead, I chose presentation mastery and leadership development. So you can choose anything you want. You're not required or forced to do anything. The reason why the 3 paths I recommend is just to give you some guidance as to what you've told the program that you're interested in. This is why it's very important. Pathways is a superior product to the old communication and leadership track because it addresses what you want. It asks you, what are your personal goals? What are you passionate about? What are your professional goals? What do you want to work on? As a result of that, this goals program that is presented is your individual goal. Not the club goals like with the DCP, but your individual goals based on what you told it. These are the things that you might be interested in working on. Now we've gone through 10 pathways very quickly. There are 10 pathways. Each pathway has 14 different projects. 14 different projects.
So each channel,
Each of the 10 paths.
each path,
14 different projects. 10 are required and 4 are elective. But every project has
What
at
does
least,
that mean, elected?
elective means that you choose. You make the decision. You decide what you want. When you
How
go,
many of the four do you have to do?
you do it, whatever.
Does that
four
mean you could
that
drop anything between 1 to 10 and exchange it for the last 4?
Say
You
it
have
again?
to do the 10. Do you have to do the 10, or do you say, I don't like that one, can I take number 13 instead?
You can choose anything you want.
That's what I thought.
You can choose anything you want. Just keep in mind there are 14 different projects. You don't have to do all 14.
yeah.
Okay.
That's
Ten
great.
if you're 10 of the 14?
You have to do 10 required, and there are 4 that are elected. And you'll find that every one of these projects has
Okay, so
at
how
least,
many of the electives do you have to do?
okay, let me finish first. You have 1 to 2 speeches at least for each project. For instance, if you were to work on presentation mastery, which is one of the 10 pathways, the very first level has 4 different speech projects. Each level has somewhat different, but let's go into the different levels before we get too much further. On the next page,
We
you'll
want to know, we just want to know.
so on the next page, you'll see that there are 5 different levels. Okay, so we already talked about each pathway having 14 different projects, but there are 5 different levels in each pathway. Each level is more challenging and more complex than the previous one. So the first level of the pathway is mastering the fundamentals. So every pathway starts with mastering the fundamentals. Then it goes on to learning your style, increasing knowledge, building skills, and finally demonstrating expertise. So every pathway has 5 different levels. Instead of completing a competent communication award where you get your CC, you'll now be saying, well, I didn't complete my CC, I completed level 1. Or I completed level 2. Instead of saying I completed my advanced communicator, I completed level 3. So it's now being measured in levels as opposed to CCs and CLs. So these 2 manuals, which represent the communication leadership track,
Are gone.
they're gone by the year 2021.
Okay, so I got confused because we went into math, and it's my day off. And I left my bookkeeping hat at home. So, to refresh, there are 14 projects.
Right.
We have to do 10 of them.
Right?
4 of those are elective.
4 additional are elected.
What do you mean 4 additional?
Well, there's 14 projects.
Yeah, but we have to do 10.
Yes, 10 are required, the 4 are, come from the electives. So there are many different electives within
Is that
a level.
So the electives are over.
It means you do
beyond
14
the-
projects.
Yeah.
10 are required that you have to do,
Oh,
and
and
then
then
there's
you
a
have-
pool of electives, you have to do 4 of those.
Now, I'll give
And
you-
you get to choose which ones you want.
I'll give you an example, like under presentation mastery, I think many people would choose presentation mastery because it talks about improving your public speaking skills. If you take a look at the presentation mastery pathway, at level 3, that's where it gets fun. When you get to level 3, you completed the first 2 levels. When you get to level 3, there's at least 10 to 12 different electives. It could be something from active listening, as an example, to doing vocal variety. But there are different electives that you can choose from depending on what you want to work on. So the electives come into play when you get to level 3. Okay? So,
Okay, so let's go back because we're doing that again.
okay, now we're going to go into a Q&A period after this.
Okay, I'm
All
sorry.
right. So, let's take a look at our next handout.
Okay.
The next handout is entitled Pathways Doesn't Change the Club Meeting. Well, actually, it probably says, it probably gives you the 5 different levels, is that right? The next handout talks about the 5 different levels. It looks like this. And you see, it's the Distinguished Club Program. You take a look on the left-hand side, you see there's the Distinguished Club Program, everything you've been familiar with. The CCs, the ACs, the CLs, the ALs.
Extra handout for, and
Sure. Okay. So, on the left-hand side is the old communication and leadership track with the CCs, the ACs, the ALs, the ALs, and ACs. Okay, that's what we're used to. On the right-hand side is the new program. And you notice it talks about different levels. So instead of having 2 CCs for DCP Goal Number 1, Distinguished Club Program Number 1, instead of having 2 CCs, it's now 4 level 1s. So 4 level 1s is equal to the old 2 CCs. Remember what goal number 2 is for DCP? Two more CCs. Well, under the Pathways program, it's 2 level 2s. And what about goal number 3 under Distinguished Club Program? It's 1 AC bronze, 1 advanced communicator silver, 1 advanced communicator gold. Under the new program, it's 2 more level 2s, and on it goes from there. So it gives you a comparison between what the existing program is on the left-hand side and the new program under Pathways, which is on the right-hand side. Let's go to our next handout. Our next handout talks about, is anything going to be different? It's titled, Pathways Doesn't Change the Club Meeting. The club meeting will still be the same. You'll still have the speakers, table topics if you're a regular club, evaluations. If you're an advanced club, you probably don't have table topics. You have round robin evaluation instead. I'm assuming that's what you have here if you're
Nope.
round robin.
We don't believe in round robin.
Okay.
Cynthia doesn't believe in round robin.
All right, that's fine. So, under the Pathways program, your club meeting doesn't change. Your meeting roles don't change. You still have 7 club officers. You still have speakers. You still have evaluators. You still have table topics. You still have general evaluator, timekeeper, odd counter, grammarian, Toastmaster, general evaluator. All those stay the same. But what changes? What changes is that there is now a very heavy emphasis on online access to your program. Take a look at, on the right-hand side, it says under Pathways, the first thing where it has a little plus by the check mark, access and store speech evaluations online. Now, when I asked my evaluator, Cynthia, to evaluate me today, the name of this project is called Managing a Difficult Audience.
And you came to the right club.
Yeah,
I
this
feel like I should throw something at you.
That's not allowed. Okay. But the project, this is level 4 from Presentation Mastery. This is my first project in level 4. It's called Managing the Difficult Audience. So what I do...
Is that a Pathways one?
Uh-huh.
Or is that, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so what I do is I print out the evaluation form. I present it to the evaluator. The evaluator completes the evaluation form in writing. then gives the evaluation verbally, 2 to 3 minutes, that doesn't change. Then I can take that evaluation form, I can read it, understand it, then I can toss it, I can put it in my drawer, or I can upload that evaluation form to my personal file on Basecamp. Basecamp is the portal, the gateway to Toastmasters International website. It's your access to your Pathways account. And let's go to that right now. The next handout is Basecamp, the center of everything. Basecamp, the center of everything. You notice the very first tile on the far left, navigating Basecamp. If you navigate Basecamp, if you click that tile, you will see tutorials, you'll see checklists, you'll see questions and project lists that guide you through Pathways. There is a plethora of information available to you on how to use Pathways. I don't look at that anymore. What I do is I click on My Education Transcript. That will tell you where you are on your journey, what you're working on currently, which level you're working on, which levels you've completed, which projects you still have to complete. Feedback, actually you get feedback to Toastmasters International suggesting how the program can be improved. My badges, you know, we are very fond, some of us, in the bling. We're very fond on putting little things on our collars, maybe on our jackets saying, well, I completed the CC, or I completed an AC Bronze, or I completed an Advanced Theater Bronze. Toastmasters recognizes that we like recognition, at least many of us do. We like recognition. We also know that activity that is rewarded is repeated. So My Badges is the tile that you click so that you can look at it and gaze upon it and say, wow, I completed this level, I completed this project. You get electronic badges of recognition. Now, Toastmasters International is currently working on the physical badges because some people say, well, you like the physical, you like the link. That's being worked on. And finally, speech evaluations. If you click on speech evaluations, you will be able to look at every evaluation form that is available for all 10 pathways. For instance, when I wanted to complete this project, this is Presentation Mastery, Level 4, Manage a Difficult Audience, I clicked on speech evaluations. There's a whole list of evaluations in alphabetical order. I went to the M's, Managing a Difficult Audience, I clicked it on, and guess what? There's the evaluation form. I print out the evaluation form and I hand it to Cynthia. Once again, you do whatever you want with the evaluation form. You upload it to your account on Basecamp. Only you have access to that evaluation. Your Vice President of Education can't see it, your President can't see it, your club secretary can't see it. I listed those 3 officers because those 3 officers, especially the Vice President of Education, is the one that's going to be overseeing your progress. Which pathways you've chosen, which levels you've completed. No one else other than these 3 officers, the Vice President of Education, the President, Club Secretary, can see your progress. These 3 officers cannot see what your evaluations are. They can't see which specific project you're working on. All they know is that you completed level 1 and you sign on to start working on level 2. That's all they know. Okay. The reason why there's 3 officers is because in the event Vice President of Education isn't able, because Cynthia or Joe decides to take off on vacation, someone else can handle it. So these are the 6 handouts that describe to you very basically what the Pathways program is about. Go to my last handout, explore my profile. We already have that. How many of you have gone online to Toastmasters.org and clicked on my profile? If you were to go online, even right now to Toastmasters.org, you click on my profile, you will see every award you've ever been given, every club office you've ever served in, every club you've ever joined, every member you've ever sponsored, every item you've ever bought from the Toastmasters store, every club that you've ever mentored or coached, that's all found on my profile. You may have been a club officer way back in 2001. It's there. Well, this is what Explore My Profile is. It's now on Basecamp. Work and make projects, complete assignments, feedback and recognition, you complete a level, Pathways Mentor Program. All these will help you in your Pathways journey. I want to take note of the last one, Pathways and Mentoring Program. There's now an emphasis on mentoring versus coaching. By the time you get to finish level 1 and you're about to finish level 2, you'll be asked in each pathway to complete a mentoring project, where you will describe yourself in a speech as a mentee. They call it protege. You will also have another speech where you describe yourself as a mentor. So there's now additional emphasis on mentoring. At this time, I'd like to open up our presentation for you to ask questions. Yes, Cynthia. You actually raised your hand. Well, you just didn't blurt it out. You're supposed to be disruptive.
Sorry. I'm trying.
That'd be very difficult.
Yeah, for his project. Yeah, got it. So there's 10 required, and you have to take those 10 project things. But then 4 you said are electives. How many electives do you need? Out of the 4, do you have to do 1? Do you have to, what?
I'll give you an example. You really don't get to electives until you go to level 3.
Okay.
I didn't know any of this stuff 3 weeks ago. I had to go through it myself. You go to level 1, it says, where's the electives? There's no electives. In fact, level 1 says, icebreaker, that's 1 speech. Evaluation and feedback, that's 2 speeches. Okay. Research and presenting, that's the 4th speech. Icebreaker, 2 speeches, and evaluation and feedback, and the 4th speech with research and presenting. There's 4 speeches in level 1. If you go to any pathway, you're going to see the same thing. It all starts with the icebreaker. You go to level 2, same across the pathways. There's a slight variation. By the time you get to level 3 is where you are opened up to all kinds of different electives. The number of electives in level 3, I've seen as many as 12 to 14 different electives. You don't have to go through all of those
Oh, so
electives.
you have to choose 4
Right.
electives out of the
Right.
plethora.
No, actually, level 3, there's 1 required project, and there are 2 more that you have to choose from. Okay. So, for instance,
So where does the 4 come in?
there's 4 electives for the entire pathway. Okay, don't forget,
And there are level
each pathway has,
Please, you go to page 11.
Page 11.
each pathway has 14 projects, 10 are required, 4 are electives. So you have many electives to choose from. The way to really understand this is to go through and just,
So you could get
Being
to the whole
motivated.
pathway and only choose 2 electives? Is that right?
sorry?
If you went through the whole level 5 of a pathway, you only have to choose 2 electives.
Each level has a different number of electives. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
2 electives.
2 electives,
So it's 0 on 1 and 0 on 2.
And what's your name?
Sally.
Please stand, Sally.
Yes.
This is your Toastmaster.
I'm a new
One.
Toastmaster.
Okay.
Don't know what the rules are, and I got two new books. Now, those books are no longer relevant. We go to another book? Yeah?
Okay, when did you join?
Before the
Before February the
February.
7th.
Yeah.
So therefore, you are what we call a transitional member,
Right.
as are all of us.
Thank you, Jolene.
You
You're
can
welcome.
work on the communication and leadership track, or you can work on pathways. You can work on both. You have the option to work on both. You can say, nah, pathways is not for me. I'm not automatically subscribed to it. If I joined after February the 6th, I would be automatically subscribed to pathways. I wouldn't have a choice. But you have a choice, just like all of us, to work on either pathways or communication and leadership track, or
Okay.
both, or both.
Or both, okay. Because my question is, this new sequence, is it mainly online? Or do you have a book that goes with it?
Well, that's a good question, because you see,
Yeah, love it.
Oh, dear.
the strong encouragement is to be online. Because
Because my computer is dead. And I'm taking time to pick out what I need and what I want and
If you
don't
were,
know how to
if you
run
go
it.
online, you have the option of selecting from 10 different pathways. If you said, I don't have a computer, I don't believe in computers, you have 5 pathways available to you.
Only
Now-
5?
In this,
Only 5, because now you have to resort
to the old
to
book.
printed material.
Okay, I see,
Credit
that's the
material.
answer to the
Now,
question.
if you had no access to computer, you can still participate in pathways, but you're relying on the Vice President of Education to print out those projects for you, and you only have 5 pathways to choose from. But let me
So
just,
how do you do that? Because so I'm a little concerned about having to do it online too, because like, I go to a Toastmasters meeting, I don't bring my computer, I don't want anybody else bring their
Yeah.
I do.
You bring yours because you're videoing.
You have no need to bring your computer. You have no need to bring your laptop or your iPad, your tablet. You could bring your iPad
I don't want
to your meeting and have your evaluator complete your PDF fillable form on your iPad. Or you can do what I just did with you, which is I printed out the evaluation form, handed it to you, you fill it
But you
out.
just said only 5 are printable.
You have 5 pathways that you can choose from instead of 10 pathways if you choose not to go online.
Right, so if I'm doing the online thing, but I don't want to bring an iPad.
You don't have to bring an iPad.
Okay, hold on. And I've chosen an online only pathway.
Yeah.
How do I do that?
You choose your pathway online when you go to Basecamp. The way I did, I chose
But there's nothing
leadership
printable
development.
with that one,
And I
right?
chose leadership development, and I chose presentation mastery. So I'm now online, as opposed to saying,
You're
I
not
don't have any computers.
Hold on. You got 5 that you can print out, right? Is that what you're saying? And there's another 5 that you can't print out.
So you
So-
If you're
What
online,
do you do?
if you are online, in other words, you go to Basecamp and you sign in, you have access to all 10 pathways. You can print out every single project.
You can print
You
it out?
you can print it out. You
Yeah,
can print it out.
If you're
Okay.
already signed up
If you're
online.
signed up, you can print it out.
If you're already signed up online.
If you choose to go online, you can print out every
So
single
somebody that
project.
doesn't have a computer could just sign up, and then they could have somebody else.
If you don't
print
have
out.
a computer, you can rely on the Vice President of Education to sign up for you,
Yeah.
first of all. Because you are not online, you have access to only 5 pathways instead of 10 pathways. But let me just finish up on the cost, because I didn't mention cost. You see, when you sign up online, when you first sign up as a member, what do? This is pre-pathways, what do?
New member kit.
New member kit, it's $20 plus $1.60 in sales tax, $21.60. You get these 2 manuals in the mail within a week after your membership has been submitted. You get a welcome letter, you get 3 different evaluation forms or brochures, welcome to Toastmasters. That's what you get. You sign out as a new member now, you don't pay $21.60, you pay $20. That's it, no sales tax, because you're not getting
You're not getting
any
the-
manuals now.
Yeah.
You're just paying
Oh, so you
$20.
pay 20 as a.
Pay $20 to try to be a
No,
member.
Yes.
Okay. That
Because
applies
there's
to
no
anybody.
sales tax.
That's right, so if you sign up as a new member, you're gonna pay $20, that's the membership fee,
Extra.
$20. One-time membership fee. Now, when you sign on for your first pathway, guess what the cost is? It's free. The first pathway is free. Any pathways after that, $20.
Each one's $20.
Each one is $20. If you say, I want Toastmasters International to print out each project for me. I'm signed on, my first pathway is free, my second pathway is $20. You paid it, you say, well, I want my materials to be printed up and sent to me. Great, you pay $25 for Toastmasters International to print out the project.
Oh, and like a workbook, not
Yeah.
just like.
Or you can just go online yourself and print it out and not be charged. You pay for the ink, you pay for the paper, you pay for the ink cartridge. Okay, but if you want TI to do that for you, they're gonna charge you $25.
Okay, that's my.
Okay.
But that, now, there you go. But you can only get that for 5 of them, where they send it to you.
If you don't have any online access at all, you only have access, then you only have the option of 5
And
applicants.
they'll send it to you in the mail.
They'll send it to you in the mail.
Just 5.
Yeah, these first
Well, you're not gonna get all 5, you'll probably get 2 out of 5 or 1 out of 5. So it really behooves you to be online. Okay, the whole idea is to get you online yesterday.
You mentioned something about uploading the evaluation form.
Right.
Through scanner or take a
Right.
picture with your
Yeah,
phone. and
take a
upload
picture
it.
with your iPad, and then you can then upload it to Basecamp, and it's stored in your file under speech evaluations. Okay? Any other questions?
So you mentioned something about a questionnaire to determine where you wanted to start
Right,
on those
right.
10 levels.
Right.
How do we?
When you sign on to Basecamp, the very first thing that's going to be asked of you is complete this questionnaire of 8 questions, asking you different things to determine, to assess where your interests are.
If you don't like the answers, can you take that quiz again?
You do it over and over and over.
Or not, it's just a recommendation. It's just
Yeah.
you can still pick any one of the 10
Yeah,
pathways.
it's just
you
a
want.
recommendation.
Yeah.
I told you that I was recommended 3 different pathways, I didn't choose any of them. Okay, I chose presentation mastery and leadership development.
I've taken one of those and I go back a year later and I take it again. It's amazing.
So you can take it for what it's worth, decide to go with the
How many do you
recommendations.
need to do in order to get the DTM? 2 pathways?
2 pathways. 2
And
pathways.
do you have to serve as a club officer, or are there any of those
No.
things?
No.
Oh, there's no officer
No.
requirement?
Damn.
You mean no club coach, no district level, yada yada?
You might have something at level 5, I don't know yet because I haven't reached that point.
There is no
But-
other reading. Because how else are we gonna
I-
get it all together?
So there might be something at level 5 for that, but I don't know.
Maybe
I know that
we
I've
can
gone through
find
4
out.
levels and there's not been a mention about serving as a club officer.
You've gone through 4 levels already?
I've gone, well, this is the beginning of my 4th level right now. Today.
Gosh,
It says
you are just
reflect on
gangbusters.
your past project.
Yes,
during-
James.
There, I've heard in other pathways presentations, there's still some form of a high-performance leadership project, and
Oh,
there's some other
Right.
special new thing. Can you talk about that?
Well, I know that the High Performance Leadership Project is now called Capstone.
Okay.
It's called Reflect on Your Path, and you'll find that at level 5. Now, you can't work on level 5 until you finish level 4. Just want you to know that. You cannot work on level 2 until you finish level 1. The program won't allow you to go forward. Every level that you complete has to be approved by your Vice President of Education. You can't, you don't automatically go to the next level without getting signing off by the VPE. You also cannot sign off on your own
Yeah.
completion. It's the way it is right now. The other
why
thing
not?
the other thing that's very common, the other thing that's very common is if you completed 1 CC, this is since July 1st of 2016, you completed 1 CC, then you receive credit for that 1 CC. Your club receives credit for 1 CC under DCP goal number 1. But let's say you're very ambitious, you complete a 2nd CC before June 30, 2017.
Doesn't count.
Okay, you still receive credit for that
Right.
2nd CC personally, but your club will not get credit
Right.
for an additional
I
CC.
have to keep mine till July.
So what do you do with it? You
I
can,
hang on to it till
you
July.
can hang on to it, we call that sandbagging, or,
Right, strategic.
okay,
Strategic planning.
or you can join
Very
another
strategic
club and give the CC to another club. I bring that out. I bring that out because if you complete 2 level 1s, okay, I completed 2 level 1s, I completed 2 level 2s, I completed 2 level 3s so far,
When did you start?
February 7th.
February
February
7th.
7th, we all started February
This
7th.
man completes
And
at
he's
least
in
18
5.
of those
Okay.
books
You're
every
in
year.
5 clubs.
So-
He's amazing.
Yeah,
Oh.
so here's my point. So you complete 2 level 1s. Only one of those level 1s can be credited to your club's Distinguished Club Program, goal number 1.
But you can
Oh,
join
that's
another
what
club
you mean
and
by
get this
sandbag.
one, right?
Yeah.
You can join another club or,
He's in 5 clubs.
Oh, gosh.
We definitely want you in our club in July, because you'll probably finish all our educational goals for us.
I really can't because Because don't forget, if I complete one CC,
That's it,
you
yeah.
need two
yeah.
CCs.
Oh, yeah, that's
Okay,
great.
for goal number one. Goal number two, you need 2 more CCs. So out of the 4 CCs, I can only give you help with one.
But you can give us a CL and an AC.
Yeah, so can you. Now, any other questions about pathways and costs, or? I can give you some difficult rhetorical questions, because our first club was difficult. Yes, go ahead.
I do have a question. In terms of, I'm in the middle of, you know, my old process, and now if I want to do pathways,
Mhm.
it looks like I've already done a lot of these things to get into level 3, even though I don't officially. Who signs off?
No, you haven't done any of those. Because-
So I have to, so I really do
You
have to.
completed part of this. What you completed here is not transferable over to.
Except for the ice cream.
Oh, I thought it was transferable, I missed that
You missed
part.
that.
Ooh,
Yeah.
you guys are hard.
Yeah, so you completed your icebreaker, you organized your speech,
Okay,
vocal variety, get to the
yeah, well, I already
point.
completed one, that's the
Yeah.
second one, yeah.
So, no, you cannot transfer anything from the old CC and CL
Okay.
manuals over to
I was
pathways.
trying to leapfrog.
Nice try.
He's
How do we find
sandbagging you.
How do we find out about the officer thing? Because I think that's gonna be key for, because right now, in order to get your advanced leader bronze, you have to serve as an officer of your club.
Right.
And to get your advanced leader silver, you have to serve as a district officer, club coach, that sort of thing.
All I can tell you right now, I know what you're saying, advanced leader bronze, you need to what? Complete the CL manual, serve as a club officer for 6 months, and you never lose that credit you did serve 5 years ago. And you have to present 2 modules in the successful club series and better speaker series.
Exactly.
Okay. And participate in the club success plan, which basically is work on the report card in a club officer meeting where you say, well, how do we accomplish these goals and when? So if you've done that, you get your advanced leader bronze. Advanced leader silver, basically complete the advanced leader bronze award, serve 12 months as a district officer, and complete your high performance leadership project. I can tell you that I've gone through 4 levels of pathways for presentation, mastery, and leadership development. There's not one mention of serving as a club officer. There's not one mention of serving as a district officer. Now, maybe I'll find something in level 5, okay, but I haven't tackled level 5 yet.
It's gonna be really interesting because, you know, a club needs officers and a district needs officers. And if there's not a project to do, I mean, I think people will also serve because they want to do leadership. But frankly, I think we have more leaders because we, you know, they can get credit for it. So I think there's a big loophole here, you know?
So I welcome that you give me feedback, because I'm required as a pathways guide not only to give you this presentation, then I go away. No, I'm going to be here for the next 6 months. Not here in this club, but I will be conducting 15 virtual support sessions. This is
What does
gonna
that
be-
mean, virtual
This means that we have a conference call with all the vice presidents of education. I'm required to do this for 8 different clubs. So I will announce the virtual support session called BSS, the conference calls. I will be doing 2.
Oh, and we need to end because we have.
Okay,
5
I'll be doing it
minutes.
twice a month,
Yeah.
and then on a conference call. And that way, that gives you an opportunity to ask questions and get feedback. All right. So it is 3:55, and I've spoken for at least 45 minutes.
Gary, thank you very
Okay,
much for
James,
giving
thank
us
you.
a pathways
Thank you.
program. Thank you. Gary Wong.
I know you like me to say, in order for you to compete in the international speech contest, you must complete 6 speeches from the Common Communication Manual. Well, Pathways has a similar requirement too. Okay, you have to complete 2 levels.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Cool. All right, we'll take a 4-minute break until the start of our meeting.